Greetings, family. Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. If you are new to this channel or podcast, then please subscribe and share our content with your friends. This will help grow our audience. I provide a written transcript in the group with the same name on Facebook for those of you who don't speak English. I also cite all of my sources under Show and Prove section. You can find all of my work under the About section on my YouTube channel, and then scroll down to Medium. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from the podcast community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue during COVID-19. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. Our goal this year is to raise $500,000 for our film projects. Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. First, I would like to thank those of you who have donated to our film project. I encourage people from my friends list and people in my social groups who want to be a part of our film project to please send me your email address to my Facebook inbox. We will hold a private conference through Google Meetings to discuss the best methods of reaching others via social media, people from their friends list, donors, and local businesses. Gracam Chicago, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, mission is to help eradicate urban violence in Chicago through our programs and services. Our objective is to build a bridge between the diaspora and continental Africans through art, culture, and commerce. Gracam Chicago will be in the business of creating docudramas, short films, theater, photography, fine arts, music, poetry, literature, sculpture, dance, and spiritual development for inner city youth and their families. Once this virus is cleaned up, we plan on launching African tours in order for us to move from behind the computer and make real connections with our global Black family on the continent, starting in South Africa. I created Gracam, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, because I got tired of all of the division among Black people. I created Gracam in 1991 on a site called Gopher. I wanted to create an organization that focused specifically on solving Black issues in America. I wanted to connect with other like-minded African Americans, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Europeans, African immigrants, and Afro-Latinos throughout the diaspora. This is a podcast where we talk about solving Black issues / African issues using a spiritual perspective as it pertains to the great awakening of our people that has been prophesied. Our objective is to get our film project fully funded and play it by ear during COVID-19. Once this virus is cleaned up, then we will shoot our film and promote our film in selected movie theaters and sell our DVDs. Together, we will put Gracam on the map and turn my vision for Black America into reality. In 2021 and beyond, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement will be promoting a policy of global Black unity, ownership, and community support. Our objective is to be in a place where we own everything we consume and we support one another. We're reaching out to our group members and listeners and would like to encourage them to support our film project in 3 ways. Through our virtual store, Gracam merchandise such as COVID masks, coffee mugs, posters, handbags, and t-shirts. All proceeds will go towards our film project. 2, through our nonprofit organization, Gracam of Chicago. PayPal page. Donations can be used as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3. All donations are tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law. 3, you can support us by purchasing my revised book on my Amazon author page. Keep in mind, community support is where we have to go, and please understand, when you're supporting our YouTube channel or our podcast, you're supporting an independent black network which will eventually employ black people in our films, stage plays, and in our actual business. I need African entrepreneurs, especially in South Africa, to come on the show and promote your businesses and ministries to the diaspora and vice versa. Instructions on participating on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time, either as a voice call by clicking on the phone icon, or a video call by clicking on the camera icon. With that being said, today's topic, building our base, a mature conversation with the Black Grassroots. Before I go into my presentation, I need to address something with my listeners. Last Thursday, when I began my show, a few people tried to call me beforehand when I was starting my video podcast. I explained to them that they would need to wait until I finish my video podcast, then they can call back. After me and Prophetess Wanzella finished our presentation, I opened up the show for Q&A, but no one called in. But that's okay. I explained to everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups that even if you are unable to participate on the show, no problem. Then when you have a moment, please watch my video podcast, leave a public comment on my Facebook page about the topic. If you have a black business, or if you are a leader of a black church, then share information about your business / or ministry so that others will know about it. Most of all, please share my video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. As I looked on my Facebook page, there is less than 5 people who responded. And you wonder why other racial groups don't take our cause serious. Nevertheless, the show must continue. I created Gracam in order to mobilize the black grassroots on a local, national, and international basis. Our objective is to solve black issues point blank. So far, we have raised $900. Our goal is to raise $500,000 so that people will take our cause serious. I'm encouraging 2 or 3 people within the United States who are on my friends list or in my social groups that know how to write grants to contact me through my Facebook box, and leave your email address so that we can discuss doing business. We want to target donors, sponsors, and large corporations so that we can raise the funds for our film project and begin looking to hire qualified film crew and quality actors. The proceeds from the film will put me in a better position financially so that I could do all the things which I have written. Once Gracam Chicago is established, then we will focus on improving the black community, strengthening the black family, and hosting African tours to meet African entrepreneurs and African Christian leaders from my African group, Gracam Africa. We will meet them in person. And our goal is to go to 10 African nations, beginning in South Africa. Today I am speaking directly to the black mobile generation, which consists of black millennials and Generation Z. If you look at the history of black people in America, we never obtained anything through voting. The question is, how did our grandparents get the Civil Rights Bill passed? As I mentioned in my revised book, The Solution for Black America, second edition, they got it passed through the grassroots level by organizing sit-ins and marching, which forced Lyndon Johnson to pass the Civil Rights Act after King's assassination and the Holy Week uprising across major cities in America. If you look at the Montgomery Bus Boycott, our grandparents stayed off those buses for over a year, and what happened? Laws were changed because they were hitting the white establishment in their pockets. Based on black history, economic boycotts and stand on cold gets results without voting. Economic boycott is the most powerful thing you can do in a capitalist society. Our grandparents showed us how to use it effectively. Some of the biggest problems we're facing as black people today are sellouts, the boule, black politicians, and urban terrorists. When our ancestors left those plantations, the sellouts and coons left with them, and they are still with us today because there is no consequences. Today is a new day. As leader of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, I want to make it clear we will separate ourselves from those within our community who do not have our best interests. I do not associate with con artists, hardened criminals, active gang members, urban terrorists, nor pedophiles will be allowed in this organization. Everyone will be screened, must attend our mandatory orientation once we have that physical building, subjected to a criminal background check, and sign the community pledge, no exceptions. Also, we will have thumb technology. I want to make sure everyone is doing their part. No freeloaders. Every member must contribute something to this organization. For the safety of our children, our best bet of surviving would be for our members who are able to expatriate to Africa. And also, I must say, apply for dual citizenship, so that way we can still have ties to America, because our ancestors did help build this country. But just come here, learn all the technologies, and just be able to bring those talents and skills back to the continent, because what I'm going to present to you today is black people in America days is numbered in America. That's all I can say. This American experiment of multiculturalism is not working for black Americans as a whole. Before we make any major moves, our first task should be a mass separation within the black community. The burden I have is for the safety of our black youth. I believe in giving back. If we don't invest in our own people in the black community, who will? The Bible teaches us to bless others. The best way to be a blessing to others is to help meet a need in the black community. We're fighting a losing battle, not only just because of white supremacy, but because of other blacks who are more loyal to their political party than to the black community and to black people. White supremacy could not do what it's doing without black participation. For example, the Congressional Black Caucus members all co-signed on that Asian hate bill, crime bill, yet none of them have presented anything to protect black people. The American eagle is a federally protected bird. The COVID-19 Asian hate crime bill has placed Asian Americans as a protected class, no different than the American eagle. My question is, did Asian Americans have an equivalent of a George Floyd? Where is the Asian version of Breonna Taylor? Where is the Asian version of Philando Castile? Where is the history of Asian Americans being lynched? According to FBI statistics, Asian Americans had recorded the lowest hate crime. Black Americans ranked the highest with anti-black hate crimes, yet we don't get a bill. When it comes to black people, these career politicians tell us they need a study. The Biden administration gave the Asian community $50 million without a study nor a commission. The Asian community should know that they made a fatal financial mistake by co-signing with white supremacists against us. We were relied on in order for them to be placed above us as a protected class. Black people nationwide need to stop patronizing Asian businesses. The majority of their businesses are in the black community. The Democratic Party said that they are not getting rid of qualified immunity, nor are they going to pay reparations. None of the political parties in America is for black empowerment. They're not going to fix our issues. They're not going to do anything. Your black politicians made sure other groups are protected over black people. For me, Democrats and Republicans mean maintaining the status quo or white supremacy. Those of you who refuse to listen to the new black voices of media, my question to you is, what has the Biden administration done specifically for black people? We have to start making consequences for those who are against our interests. When it comes to our black politicians, the majority of them are Democrats. The majority of black people vote for Democratic candidates. When you look at black politicians in America, they're not participating in the betterment of black people. They are not for black empowerment, meaning black first. Instead, they are Democratic first. Whatever the Democratic Party say, that's their agenda. We voted for Obama and he did not do anything for the black community. We need to think about solving our issues and stay out of other people's business. As I mentioned in my revised book, we need to create our own independent party. Dominant culture looks at us as slaves. Slaves work to benefit others. They don't work to benefit themselves. If you want to be a slave for the rest of your life, that's your life. Then continue being Democrat first and allow others to get above you. My message is to those of you who are smart and have a black first mentality. Then withhold your vote until it's a local election. The financial elites are trying to put black people as a permanent underclass that everyone can step over. You say that you want freedom, justice, and equality, but when it's time to vote someone new in office, you continue to vote for the same people who are selling us out. We've been getting killed for 400 years, and we still don't have a hate crime bill. About 10 years ago, I tried to encourage my group members to create a black legal defense fund for black people who have been falsely charged with having committed a crime. According to CNN, his family says they were told he died in a car wreck. The video now shows Ronald Green was murdered by road cops in Louisiana by state troopers who have been protected and encouraged by white supremacists in Louisiana state government. His killers were aided by the state who hid the video and refused to hold the murders accountable. The governor claimed that it's still under investigation 2 years later. When you see what happened after the murder of Andrew Brown in North Carolina, a Republican state, and in Louisiana, you have a Democratic governor who's covering up for road cops, you understand that this is a concrete effort against us. These murders and the refusal to punish the murderers is not by accident. This is the financial elites telling black people what they are doing. When a group of people are being murdered with complete impunity, do they not have a right to defend themselves? This was just like what happened to Laquan McDonald. That case also had video footage that the Democratic authorities kept covered up until after the election. The Republicans did not have a problem with it. Notice how there's complete bipartisan support for covering up and defending the murders of black people. When you are in a circumstance where you are the perpetual victim of injustice, it falls to those who are being oppressed to produce justice. We can't continue to give credence to a system that's hell-bent on killing us. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over while expecting something different. Where is the human rights organizations? It's no accident that members of government who make it clear that they stand with the murderers. This is what we are seeing from these government officials, district attorneys, judges, and politicians. The reason that Derek Chauvin is locked up is because the authorities in Minnesota, from the police, the DAs, the judges, they all got put on notice. The road cops have created a state of lawlessness and injustice. The people were going to restore order. A store manager defends himself from a combative racist customer. Corey, I believe it's pronounced Pool. Anyway, his last name is Pujol. Defends himself from a white supremacist at Dunkin Donuts. He was a manager at Dunkin Donuts in Tampa, Florida. What happened was a white customer decided to go through the Dunkin Donuts drive-thru, complaining about the service. The employees felt this man's behavior was off. They asked him to leave the premises. Instead, this man parked his car and went into the building. He called the manager the N-word. As a result, the guy was knocked to the floor and rushed to the hospital where he died. It was a clear case of self-defense. The white supremacists are attempting to railroad this model citizen with manslaughter. Another incident is about a business owner defending his shop from a burglar. Family of Oklahoma marijuana grows owner charged in death of alleged intruder. The crew, Batcher, and his wife made headlines last year as the owners of a marijuana shop in Oklahoma, who had to exercise his right to self-defense against a burglar. The man who burglarized his shop was shot and later died. It would seem like a open and shut case of self-defense. Oklahoma is a stand your ground state, not to mention the law is crystal clear on the ability of a landowner to defend his property. The real issue is that Mr. Batcher is black and the criminal is white. The police arrested Mr. Batcher on a bogus charge of not having a proper permit to grow marijuana. He was not prosecuted for murder. He was prosecuted for being a black business owner. We cannot have a situation where black people who are exercising their right to self-defense, who are standing up for their rights to live free from fear, intimidation, and coercion, who may become the victims of white supremacy. Both are prosecuted. Black people are the only ones who get put on trial for defending themselves. Black people are the only people in America who are consistently attacked and persecuted for exercising our right to self-defense. Gracam of Chicago will be much more than just a new business endeavor. It's a new system. And we as black people, we're gonna have to build it. Even though I do have the idea about it, and it's in my revised book. But I want to turn those ideas into a reality. That's how come I keep trying to make a distinction between Gracam and Gracai. Gracam is just the ideas. So like I keep saying, at this point in time, I am the business. I am Gracam. But I want to turn the business into a reality. So I want to turn my ideas into a reality. And that is Gracam of Chicago. That's gonna, I got the paperwork and everything for that. And, only thing I'm lacking is a physical building. That's how come I'm trying to focus on doing the film. So that way, people that don't like to read, they could just watch my story. And it's going to help us get our message out to the masses. Again, like I say, I can do hundreds of videos. I can do hundreds of podcasts. The bottom line, I need people that's on my friends list, especially those that's in my social groups, to take this stuff serious. Our people are dying in the streets, and these black politicians, they don't care. And if it was up to me, I would rather I'd rather have my talents and skills on the continent, to be working with people that that want more out of life, that want assistance. But I'm here in America, and I'm surrounded around people that's in a position to I would say that can help this organization get up and running. But nevertheless, I'm just going to keep doing what I can while I can. I'm praying to my Creator that He would connect me with the right people. I am just trying my best to, keep using this technology rather than just twiddling my thumbs. And I'm trying to find different contents to write about, so that way, I could talk about different topics, each week. But the bottom line is, I do want to get this film project fully funded and made, so that way we can move to the next level. I've been on Facebook for 17 years. So those of you that's in my groups, you know what I'm all about. But I guarantee you, once I start making money and, people actually seeing that, we are traveling to Africa and, we're making moves there. We're setting up chapters there. We're trying to make Gracam the center of the African community wherever we go. I mean, then everybody gonna want to be on board. But I want people to understand. In this organization, we're gonna just raise the bar, because I don't want the next generation to have to endure what I had to experience. This is just unnecessary. It's just really unfortunate. Bottom line, black people here in America, I'm just gonna say a majority, help get Joe Biden into the White House, and as a result of that, we are gonna suffer big time. This is how come he's not doing nothing for black people. This is actually a spiritual warfare at its best. I mean, I'm just saying, black Americans would rather reach out to a man that's have anti-black sentiments, for over 30 years. He created the 94 crime bill, locking black people, that gave rise to mass incarceration. And black people voted for this man. Just sad. And now we're gonna all have to pay for the consequences that a majority of black people made. Now, the financial elites on the left side, which is the Democrat side, they are going to try to put all these other groups against black people, because that's what capitalism is all about in the first place, trying to get different groups to fight over different resources. And we barely have enough resources, as black Americans. And so that's why our communities are so jacked up right now. And really, urban gentrification is just a fancy word for being colonized. So our communities are being colonized. The financial elites are not there to, try to work with people that's already living in the community. They want to just take it over, raise the rent, and all those things, move poor people out. But they're not gentrifying other people, neighborhoods like that. It's basically black people. So, yes, as you know, yes, Asian Americans are a protective class now, just like the American Eagle, thanks to black America. So what's going to happen is that it's going to be much harder for the black kids that's going to grow up in this country, because of the mistakes that our people are making. And as far as I'm concerned, it's based on this Willie Lynch mentality. But nevertheless, there's still hope. That's why I'm reaching out to the global black family. I'm going to do my best to get this organization up and running here in America as God placed in my heart. I'm going to turn it over to qualified black middle class years. And I'm going to do my part to, just come to Africa and do what I can to be a blessing to people that want to be a part of this organization. Because Black America has rejected my vision for the past 29 years. This organization will be membership-based and private. Even on the continent of Africa, we're going to screen people over there as well. Because I only want to work with people that want more out of life. And that's going to be on the up and up. With that being said, you can connect with me through Facebook Messenger. I'm going to wait around for about 15 minutes. If I don't hear from anyone within the 15 minutes, we could just call it a day. But before I do that again, I just want to just let everybody know that's on my friends list. I'm grateful that you are on my friends list, but I appreciate it if you would just, even if you don't come on the show, leave comments about this topic on my Facebook page, good or bad. But those of you that want to come on the show to speak with me directly about this topic, you're more than welcome to do so. Alright, with that being said, the phone lines are now open.